to movement therapy. Today I have a shorter, but definitely a little bit intense mobilizer or foam roller session for you today. So we're going to focus on moving everything, making everything feel better, longer, more free. And that's your focus. You can use any type of foam roller. So I've got a little one here like this. It's relatively firm. You can use a long one if you've got it. But these are just an amazing tool to be able to get into every part of your body and make you feel a little bit better. For those of you who need something a little bit more direct, I've also got the dreaded lacrosse ball or just any kind of hard ball or a tennis ball that you can use to get a little bit deeper into any of those spots. So before we get started today, we're actually going to do our metric before we even move. And what I want you to do is two things. You're going to keep your legs nice and wide, and then you're going to shoot your hips side to side and see just where that tension is. Is there anything in your back? Do you feel a little bit tight? What's going on there? Have a little bit of a move. And then I want you to grab your arms above your head and give yourself a bit of a reach. And again, just kind of see how that feels, what your reach is like, and, is there any lingering tension there that you notice? So, as a bit of a warm-up, just to get us going and get us in the mood, move your foam rollers to the side, take yourself lying down on the ground, and just give yourself those sideline knees. Just start getting your head in the space of, it's time to mobilize. It might be a little painful, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Give yourself a leg sweep over the top of that. Hopefully you get a nice little snap, crackle, pop. I definitely got one there. Feels good. Let's do one more on each side. Then, taking your legs to one side, the hand that is closest to the foot reaches all the way around for a rainbow stretch. Up and over. Crack, crack, crack. One more. Breathe in. Relax. And then take it to the other side. Lovely. Last one coming up here. Okay, we're going to 4 big spots, maybe 5. We'll see what we have time for. We're going to start with our calves. We're going to move through our inner thighs. We're going to go quads, lats. That would be 4. And if I've got 5, we'll see how we go. We might make it up back. We might make it butt cheeks. First up, I want you to sit yourself up against something. Grab a wall or a chair or a couch or whatever you can, and you want to grab your apparatus. So I'm going to show you how to do it with both. Grab your foam roller underneath. You don't want it to be in the super fleshy part of your calf, just a little bit underneath that. So you're going to put that up top. See how I'm leaning back on the wall here. And now before I do anything, I'm going to move this a little bit side to side. Oh yeah, I feel it clicking over. You might feel some little ropes slipping over there. I want you to find one of those little ropes. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to press our calf into that foam roller, back and forth, seeing how that goes. Oh yeah, feeling those things. So just find those edges where you're feeling not too much, 6, 7 out of 10. If you want to build it to 6 and 7 out of 10, you can't feel it, pop your other leg on. Now, if you need the ball, it's in exactly the same spot. Now it's going to be a lot more targeted and a lot more localized. So now that we've found our spot, wherever it might be, we're going to add some mobilizing. Now with the ball, it's a little bit harder to mobilize. You might find that you roll off. So I like coming back onto the roller and turning my foot clockwise, anti-clockwise, however you need. Now we're going to move through this relatively quickly because I want to show you how much difference you can make in a relatively short period of time. But remember, you can go back to any of these, or you can take probably up to 3 or 4 minutes on each side. I wouldn't go any deeper or longer than that. And you don't want to get yourself into a position where you're like really scrunching your shoulders up and you're feeling a bit stressed out. You want to be able to breathe nice and evenly and just feel what you're doing, relax, and notice that you're getting some relief, as well as those little edges of pain, but they are dissipating as you go. Let's change legs. So, keeping yourself nice and calm and relaxed against something. You don't have to be against something, but it definitely just makes it a little bit easier if the ground is uncomfortable for you. And we're going to roll side to side. Now this one feels a little different. I found the edge. Sometimes you have to search for it a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm kind of just grinding into it where I am at the moment, just seeing where it needs to be, where the most sticky place is for me to try to mobilise as I move my foot. I think I found it. I'm going to hold on to the roller. I'm actually going to add a little bit of pressure. And you can kind of decide where you want to take that. More pressure, less pressure. For those of you who want to add a little bit more, you can lift your hips, but I don't recommend it. You don't want to be in a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 in pain. Common misconception about foam rolling is not more pain the better. It can invoke a stress response, and we don't want to do that. You should be feeling things. And I'm definitely feeling things here in the calf. Now you have to excuse me if I don't give you the exact amount, same of time. I'm going by feel, which is how I go with pretty much everything when I'm doing my workouts. So if you want an exact time, pop a timer on and you can time each side appropriately so that they're both sides even. Or you may want to spend more time on the side that's feeling a little stickier. The calves are done. Fantastic. So now we're going to grab our roller, and for these purposes I'm going to come down to the floor on the side here. You want your elbows down flat, and we're going to take our leg outside and then come back flat. From here we're going to use our hip to roll. Now what's really important about this space is you want the roller to cross-section the direction of the muscles in your leg. So direction of muscles are going this way. I don't want my roller to be slightly diagonal because it's not going to get the best spot for me. So I want to make sure that that is going across my leg, and oh yeah, I can feel it straight away. There are some things happening in here for me. Now I'm trying to stay relatively relaxed as I'm down here, letting my hips do the work into pressing down. Now, you can get even more relaxed if you like, so whatever feels good for you. But I want you to find the sticking point. When you found it, we're going to try to lift. And if you can, extend. Now, this part is optional. You might already be in a 7, 8 out of 10 just by having the roller underneath you. So this might take it too far. If you can do this, slow and methodical, remember to breathe. Use your breath. Don't hold your breath. And then if you want to adjust and find a new spot, you can as well. So you're just looking for any spot that is sticky for you. Everyone is going to have a slightly different sensation, or perhaps a slightly different space where they feel this. So I really want you just to find your edge. Find where you feel like it's not working so well for you, and go from there. I can definitely feel the blood coming in through my knee. It's feeling nice and hot as the blood kind of circulates back through. Because what we are doing, I'm going to flip to the other side, and I'm going to turn this way so that you can see, is we are adding compression into this. So we are compressing some of that blood flow that's going down our leg. So when we get up off the foam roller, you might notice that you'll feel that sensation of heat or blood flow coming back, because that's exactly what's happening. We're trying to create a disruption of blood flow so that it can circulate back through. And that's what helps aid your recovery. It's what helps give you extra range of motion. So again, finding a slightly different, stickier point on this one. Yeah, there it is. And then when you have, lift and extend. Remember to breathe. You want to be able to kind of let yourself take those belly breaths as you in and out of this. Not letting anything else tense up. Fantastic. Yeah. The best part about this is that you can see my pain face as I'm doing these as well. So, any of my clients who are watching, yeah, I go through it too. Thanks, I know. I will say, the foam roller is definitely nicer than someone's elbow. So, self-massage at home, friends, means that it'll be less intense, hopefully, when you go see a massage therapist. Keep finding those edges, and remember to spend as much time here as you need, roughly about 4 minutes in total. Right, that's done. Okay, so now it's time for our quads. Now the quads, we're going to do in pretty much the same position that we were just in, except now the foam roller goes on the other side of your leg. So, we're going to start it right near our knee. I'm going to start it on this side so you can see my position. So that goes on my knee. And then this leg goes out to the side like we were, just for our abductor roll. I'm going to come down to my elbows, and then here I'm going to roll. Now for some of you, that still might be too intense. That might be more than enough. So if it is, we're just going to do double leg, and you're going to spend a bit of time on here. You might fast forward me through once you've spent 3 or 4 minutes. But for the rest of us, one leg. I want you to rotate just slightly on the inner part of the quad or the outer part of the quad. And I want you to make a decision as to where you really need it. And so for me, probably right there. It's kind of very central. And again, once you've done your finding or your searching of your point, we're going to start to mobilize. And you just want to try to lift your foot, your back foot up. Now, it doesn't have to be very far. You just have to lift up a little. Make sure you're breathing. I'm going to find a new spot. This one's really close to the knee. But you can go as high up the quad as you need to. Just remember, if you're adjusting up the quad, just take your elbows and your other knee with you. And you don't want to roll over your hip bone. You want to keep it below the hip. So, again, finding those edges and seeing where you need it. That's the spot. There. Keep breathing. Brilliant. Oh. Now, the quad is one of those ones that's going to make you sweat a little bit. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from the other side, but press pause or stay on there longer if you need to. Now, let's take ourselves here. So now you can see your back should be straight. My elbows are roughly in and around my shoulder area, so I'm not like too far out in front of myself. And I'm just using my body to allow me to roll up and down that foam roller until I find that spot. There's the spot. Yeah, good a flat time. Now, if you're starting to sweat like I am, that's a tiny bit of a stress response, so make sure that you're breathing. Make sure that you're relatively relaxed, because we don't want to go too deep into a stress response. We just want to be aware, that stuff's happening, but we're in control and we're not super in a lot of pain. One more point here, one more point. So let's find it. Yep, it's a bit higher on me on this side, right there. And then find those edges and open it up. At this point, I should be able to hear you exhaling as you're getting all of that tension out in the way. You're feeling the blood coming back into your legs. We are only going to do 4 today, and we're going to do our lats. This one can hold quite a lot of tension for some of us, and others maybe not that much tension. But if you don't feel like you're in pain, it doesn't mean that you're not getting any benefit. Okay, so the other benefits of foam rolling, as I set this up, head into hand, back foot. Your foot is on the floor and your bottom leg is relaxed. And then from here, we use our body. So I use this leg to pick my hip up so that I can roll up or down. And when I find my spot, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate forward. And I'm going to rotate back. Now, I'm pretty much sore absolutely everywhere there. So if you're sore everywhere, doesn't matter, you just want to choose a spot. But for some of you, you might feel like it's more on one point than the other. That's where you're going to be. Hand drops. And now we start to wave. We're going to wave that hand, and then you might sweep the floor with your hand as well. Just finding where you can. Now, if that's too much, stay. Stay and float with that edge. Just breathe. Even just being on here is a benefit. Speaking of benefits, that compression of your blood, what it also does is it helps to pump our lymphatic system. So our lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump. It relies on the movement from our muscles to be able to pump the waste out of our body. So it's really important that we're moving enough during the day to get this lymphatic system moving so that it can get rid of our waste. And foam rolling is a really nice way to create compression and to push some of that lymph in and around your body. Oh, it is a really good spot. Now, some of us might get a little bit of referral. So a little bit of a sensation, continuing up or down into a limb or other parts of your body. This sensation is totally fine as long as you're still able to breathe and it's not super overpowering and nothing's going numb. If something's going numb, I want you to jump off it. We don't want to go numb. But otherwise, a little bit of referral just means you might have found something that's a bit connected further down the chain. Referral is just a little bit of neural activity. Had enough of that side? Oh, had enough of that side. Okay, last one, everyone. Last one. So, get yourself set up, that foot down, right underneath. Here we go. Here we go. Rolling forward and back. Finding where you need it to be. Is it a little higher? Is it a little lower? Does it feel different from one side to the other? It does for me. This side is a bit harder to find. It doesn't mean it's not there. I think we found it now. And so once we have, and we start that up and down. This side's a little bit more elusive for me. Not quite getting, there it is. And sometimes it's just a game of finding where that edge is. You can use pillows to prop yourself up and see where you need to be. Or otherwise, we can just hang out. So remember, there isn't a lot of right or wrong when we're doing foam rolling. You're exploring your body. You're asking it, where does my body need a little bit of release? Where does it need a bit of freedom? Where does it need a little bit of attention? And you're just trying to pay attention to the clues and the signals that your body is giving it. Couple of breaths here. Excellent. And we're going to roll off that. Whew. Now I call them the bang for your buck areas. You can put a ball in most of those areas. Everywhere I would say except your quads, because you might just roll off it and be a little bit uncomfortable. But let's go back and check how we did with our movement. So, beautiful. So much better. Feels way more free for me. Really good. And then taking those arms up. Yeah, I feel taller, which is really important for a short arms like me. There we go, guys. Hopefully we're in and around 15 to 20 minutes. Nice little full body opener mobilizer, freedomizer for your entire body. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.